Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. It's a rainy Wednesday here in Georgia. Once again, sitting in my car doing lunch. Um, I wanted to talk about the Gabby Patuto. I really don't know how to say her last name. But much condolences to her family. She was young. She had her whole life ahead of herself. She was doing her little band thing, and it's a shame how her story ended. 22 is very, very young. Even though I was a mother at 22, thought I was old, I was not. I was not. I was not. Um, there was a lot of growing up that I needed to do. I mean, if I could go back in time, even though I love my babies, I love my babies. But it's just one crazy thing that is driving me absolutely nuts. So they went on this little road trip or whatever the case may be. The boyfriend Brian, the psycho Brian, he comes back home and his parents just let him dip. I know he was 23, but come on, didn't you have some type of suspicions or something like that? You know your child. Us parents know our children. We can deny, but you know when something's not right with your child. You know it. You know it. And he's going to come back in a van all by himself. Ain't nobody asked where Gabby was. Nobody cared where Gabby was. They just said, oh, hell, he home. And then just let him leave after the cops were trying to talk to him. After the lawyers. You just going to let him dip? I honestly believe that he killed himself because he could not face what he done did. That's what I honestly believe. But ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. He's probably walking around in the woods saying, how the heck am I going to get myself out of this mess? It's parents, we know our children. We know our children. And we know when something not right with them. We know it. I'm just confused as to how you let that boy just leave. And he no grown man. Because a grown man would have stood up for his responsibilities, and he did not. He dipped. And y'all let him with a backpack. Where did you think he was going? Hiking or whatever. Did anybody ask where she was at? Did the parents ask where she was at? And we can't always blame the parents. Our children get a certain age where they're going to have to take responsibility for themselves. But come on, people. Come on, people. You know. And you just let him walk out the door. Like okay, fine. Like he just had an argument with the girl when y'all knew she was gone. You knew something was not right when the boy got home. Y'all knew. Y'all knew something was not right. But it cracks me up how fast they found out during the autopsy that it was Gabby. Look how many people have been missing, killed, whatever the case may be, and y'all don't find them that fast. Y'all do not find them that fast at all. Now, if it was a black 22-year-old that got murdered by her black boyfriend, would y'all just let him go? I don't think so. I don't think if it was a black male, and I have black sons, I do not believe that if it was a black male that done killed his girlfriend, y'all would just let him go like that. And nobody's able to find him. Nobody's able to find him. But because he's a white male, He disappeared. He dis-a-freaking-peared. Dis-a-freaking-peared. I just don't, I'm lost. I mean, a child's life is a child's life. A human life is a human's life. And nobody should be taken away because somebody else is jealous, mad, or whatever. Arguments do happen. These relationships don't really last long. You're 22. You haven't really been able to experience life. You don't need to murder anybody. You don't need to take their lives in your hands. Who gives you that right? Who gave you that right to take that girl? But anyway, would you have let some black kid, 22-year-old, just lawyer up, say he ain't talking, put a backpack on, and just leave? Just leave. Knowing the girlfriend's missing. Now, I'm not saying that black men have not done that. They have done snow, but you found them. Y'all found them. It just amazes me how folks can just disappear and nobody's able to find them. We all know what the guy did. He went off. He couldn't take the pressure. And he probably hung up somewhere. Done killed himself. And my thing is, if you can't deal with a certain situation, why do you have to take other folks out? Why don't you take your own self out? Not that suicide is the best answer, but I'm not understanding. I just don't freaking get it. Now these parents have to go the rest of their life without their daughter. Why? Because some stupid argument? Was she going to leave you? Is that what happened? She was going to leave you and you couldn't deal with it? So she wasn't leaving? You was going to kill her? That's what it always boils down to. She don't want him. He don't want her. So y'all resort to violence. And I just don't understand. It's always boils down to violence. My condolences to the family. I wouldn't want anybody in your shoes. She was a beautiful girl. She had her whole life ahead of her. And it's very, very tragic. She won't be able to walk down the aisle. She won't be able to have children. She won't be a grandmother. She won't be somebody's wife. It's really sad. It's really sad. I could not imagine having to put my daughter in the ground before me because someone was that selfish that he took her life. For what? And it probably took his own life. For what? For nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because most of the times we have problems and think that's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. If that person doesn't love you, somebody else will. And most importantly, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, crazy stuff like this happens. You end up killing somebody because they don't want you. Unfreaking real. Unfreaking believable. But once again, blessings to her family, her friends, and everyone else who's going to miss her. And that's all you hear, or all you see online or on the news is Gabby. Gabby. Gabby, 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 Gabby. We're going to hear this for a couple of months. Or until they find him or find his body or whatever. Then this is going to die out. And then we're going to be talking about somebody else. Somebody else's child that was murdered. It's tragic and sad. We need to be able to talk to our children and let them know it's not always going to be like this. It's not always going to be like this. There are better days. But with so much going on, we just don't seem to have time or don't care. Don't care. We just let them run off and do whatever. I mean, blessings to Brian's parents as well, because now they have to live the rest of their lives knowing what their son did. And it's tragic. That's two families that are devastated right now. You got the police running all up in your house, taking crap. I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth, people. Love yourself. Love yourself. Protect your family. I mean, no type of respect for your family either, because if that was the case, you wouldn't have just left them to deal with your crap. So blessings to them as well. People may say, well, you know, you can't bless the parent. Everybody needs a blessing. Everybody needs a blessing. Everybody, even the lawyer that's sticking up for this boy, he need a blessing too. We all need a blessing. Let us pray. Blessings, family. Y'all gonna need it. Love you all. Bye.